Alrighty, guys, another day's in the books for the market, and let me tell you, we had one of the better days in recent memory, not only for the entire stock market, but for Palantir stock as well, which ended up closing up almost 5% on the day, right at about $163 a share, and that's actually with a dump heading into close. You guys can see here, we dropped from 165 to about 162, 63 into close. So at one point, we were up like 6% ish, give or take. So we have to go over the charts, do an update on Palantir. Have we seen the bottom? We have a lot to break down, guys, so hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon for my portfolio updates. I actually just posted one earlier today. You get access to my portfolio, the Discord, me throughout the week, all of that. Link down below, also pinned in the comments. And now, guys, let's dive into it. So we had a very strong green day, which we've been in need for, and this continues the green from Friday. Friday was a phenomenal day in the stock market, and today again it continued. The Russell went up almost 2%, the Nasdaq 100 2.5%. Think about that, guys. Dow went up about 0.5%. All right, the Dow lagged a little bit, but don't worry, because the S&P went up 1.5%. Very good day overall for the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq, you name it. Russell, it was one of those days, and the VIX went down over 12%, and now it's pretty much hovering right at 20 points. And if we look here at Palantir, guys, what are we noticing? We're noticing an inverse head and shoulders on this 5-day, 5-minute chart slowly starting to play out. You're noticing this right here. We have the left shoulder, we have the head right here, boom, and then we have the right shoulder right here. So inverse head and shoulders starting to play out, and if this breaks through, let's say 163 to 165 again, which we're there, we're there now, but we're slightly under 163. But if we're able to retake this level, let me draw this line out. You guys will be able to see it. We then could fill the gap up to about 172 to 173. This is where we could be playing, and that is where the inverse head and shoulders would fully play out, right? So this actually looks pretty good, man. Palantir, we have a golden cross on the 5-day, 5-minute. We took out the highs from Friday, not quite yet from Thursday, but we could be going to where we were Thursday, Wednesday last week, if we're able to just take out 165. And again, I think at that point we could fill the gap up here towards 172, 173-ish. So that's exciting. I think the bulls are starting to come alive again. They're not fully out of hibernation, I would say, considering here on the 30-minute chart, we're still technically in this downtrend. You're noticing that right here. But I think we'll be out of hibernation if PLTR could take out 165 and start really pushing through. I would say the low mid 170s, guys. That would be the real breakout spot, reversal spot, whatever you want to call it on Palantir. I think anywhere above 172, 173 is where we could really start seeing some serious gains in the short term. So let me set some alerts. I have one at 165. I'll do another one here at 170. Mark is at or above. So if we're able to get through these points, 165, 170, and ultimately above the highs from the 20th of this month, being 174, that's also where we struggled earlier this month of November, right? If we're able to get out of here, this is where I think we're going to start really breaking out. So I'm going to set my alert at $175. Mark is at or above. So I have 3 alerts, 165. That's a very short-term alert. That's pretty much where we are now to see, okay, do we break that tomorrow, the next day? 170s after that, that's going to be the next test. And again, 175. Once we get out of there, that's where I think the bulls are going to really, really gain a ton of momentum. So that is a quick rundown here on PLTR. And overall, guys, we're looking good. When in doubt, zoom out. That's what I always say. When in doubt, zoom out. And although we're not fully reversing back up yet, the fact that we're getting buyers to come in right on these critical spots on the longer term time frames at these critical spots, That's a very good sign. You guys remember we covered the 1-year chart, the 180 SMA? Look, we're bouncing off that point. Buyers are starting to come in. You're noticing that. We also talked about the 3-year chart on Palantir, right? If you guys take a look, buyers are coming in above that 50 SMA, right around here at 130, 140. So although, yeah, we're not fully breaking out again, we're noticing the signs, the initial signs of the uptrend continuing, which, are you surprised, guys? I'm not surprised. This is something that we covered time and time again here on the channel, and I think, honestly, man, Palantir is a good swing trade from here. I think it easily gets back. Well, I don't want to say easily, right? Because people take that literally, right? So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, obviously, right? The markets, no one can predict it 100%, but I feel like once we really start to see that VIX drop under 20, once people realize, oh, okay, the AI trade's not over, once we get a rate cut in December, which I think, my prediction is we will, I think the stock's going to be back towards 180, over 180. So I think it's a simple swing trade at this point. If you're looking at the valuation, trying to determine if it's a good long-term play still, all right, that's a different story, right? But on the charts as a swing trade, yeah, I think it looks pretty good here. And I'm close to adding it as a swing trade, guys. I'm pretty much right there. So what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's see what Zoom did. I think Zoom just reported their earnings. Let's pull these up. So we covered the chart yesterday on Zoom. The chart looks pretty good, right? We're uptrending over the last couple of months, throughout this entire year, pretty much. Higher highs, higher lows, the whole 9 yards. And it looks like we actually closed at $78.60 today. And in the aftermarket, Zoom is popping. We're up over 3% aftermarket right now after the bell. And that's on earnings. Let's see here, guys. Zoom ended up reporting, let's see if I can find it. EPS, where the heck is it? Wait a second. Is it not even here? Well, I guess I can't find the estimates, but it looks like EPS came in at $1.52. Revenue, $1.23 billion. Net, looks like Q3 net was about $612 million. Online revenue up 2%. All right. Looks like guidance, they see full year revenue of $4.85 to $4.86 billion. Q4 revenue of $1.23 to $1.24 billion. So interesting guidance there. I don't know the estimates from the analysts. Oh, wait a second. Here it is, guys. Zoom, okay, they double beat. 1.5 or $1.52 EPS versus $1.44. So that beat revenue. 1.23 bill versus 1.21 bill. Pretty good there. EPS guidance and revenue guidance, both above estimates for Q4. They raised their full year guidance. So it's pretty good, guys. Honestly, it's pretty good. The stock was beaten up into earnings. That's the thing here. It was a nice setup into earnings. So we went from $88 down to about 77, 78, which is where we closed today. Earnings came out and boom, now we're up 2, 3, 4%. So this is how it works. When a stock's oversold, the setup looks nice. Not always, but if it's oversold, earnings come in good, guidance is strong, they raise it. Yeah, a good chance the stock goes up after that, and that's kind of what we're noticing here on Zoom. So yeah, pretty good quarter out of Zoom. Am I going to buy the stock? Probably not, as a long-term investment, but as a trade, swing trade, like Palantir, I like it. I think Zoom's chart looks pretty good. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, see what I'm doing throughout the week. I'm investing literally, guys, thousands of dollars a month in this portfolio. It's not a little itty-bitty portfolio. We're investing real money, and if you guys want to see me build it, how I build portfolios, be a part of the Discord, all of that is linked down below. Also pinned in the comments, or just go to stassurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you in the next video.